I think it was just a regular one. I don't know. It was a little girl. I didn't.
I don't know. Like, what'd you say it was called? Pixco?
I think it was. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. You would think it would be like, a very niche golden shower.
Yeah.
Because what to say, you got like. You got like Pornhub, you got like, all these other websites that
list them.
The mainstream
just list them.
List all the ones in your browser
listen,
history.
anyone here
first
who
ones
doesn't
that pop into your head, go.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't have an Xvideos account is a fucking liar. Let's get real. Come on, we all have it. Looking at you, Sam.
Nope, that's not me. Sorry, friend.
Sorry, friend.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you don't have to pay. Like. Find a way.
Yeah, really. I'm the only one with the Xvideos account.
Paying is for suckers.
Exactly. Yeah.
It truly is.
Why pay when there's so much free porn? Sam, are you rocking your news reporter setup still?
Yes, I am. I should get one of those like boxes that go around the base of this microphone. It's a blue snowball, but nice. I can only record on my bed. In my bedroom, so I can't. There's no surface that I can put the microphone on, so I just have to hold it like this.
Nice.
That's good. So, you know what I really admire about your bedroom?
Is it the giant Fall Out Boy poster sitting behind me?
100%.
That's 100%. Been there since 2007, 2008.
That is peak 2007 too.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. There's a better one in there somewhere. I don't think it's this particular poster, but it's of I want to say it's like, I think it's MCR. I don't know. One guy is wearing like a newsboy cap and a vest and jeans, and it's like, what are you doing?
What? That's not. I'm literally looking around my room right now, and that's not a thing that exists. I think it's in the corner. Not here.
It should be in the corner.
Is it these ones over here?
No.
Okay. Is it? What is like? I'll take.
No,
do
keep
you want
going.
the tour? Do you want?
Yeah,
the tour?
I do.
This is what we're doing.
We're out of posters.
Cam, I think as well as being deaf in one ear, you're blind in one eye.
Can't believe it.
Yeah. I'm not seeing it.
He just imagined it.
Sorry.
I'm deaf in my right ear and blind in my left eye. Driving is very difficult.
Oh, shush. All right.
Oh, did your phone fall over?
No, I forgot that I had iTunes open on my computer, and I just started playing Chance the Rapper. I'll close that.
Yeah, that's not always a bad thing.
Okay.
But welcome to the Chill Spot Podcast. We have in fact been recording this whole time.
Oh baby!
Surprise, surprise.
We frequently just turn on, like, me and Sam have always find that we'll have great conversations and then turn the mic on and be like, so
what do we talk about?
We have a couple of special guests on with us today. We have Will and Alenka from the I Haven't Seen This Yet podcast, or just the haven't Seen This Yet podcast.
Cameron, you were on the show. You were on the show.
I would like to change it to the I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet podcast. The I refers to Alenka. But they are a part of another group. They are in fact the writers of Big Mouth, which is, I can't believe we got them.
Sorry. No, let me just clarify. So the Big Mouth joke Cam came up with, that was planned. The I haven't seen it yet thing, that was real. That was very real.
No. They're a part of an online improv troupe called Big Cake, and they have always been wonderful supporters of us. And we're
that's
so
not
happy to
right
have
either.
Them
It's sketch comedy. It's not improv.
I mean,
read the show notes.
Yeah, really. Someone should really give me some notes about this.
I
will say that half our sketches are improvised anyway.
Okay.
Thank you, Will, because that's what I thought. For fuck's sake,
I just like they're valuable skill sets, but they're very different. So I just want to advertise it right.
Of course. Well, anyways, Sam, why don't you start talking since I'm wrong all the fucking time?
Anyways,
go ahead. Talk to our guests.
So Will, Cam, and I all went to school together. He was like a grade above us, a year above us.
That's not true.
In university.
That's not true. That's not right.
He's a year above us in university, and I don't know Alenka.
I think I was 2 years, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think.
honestly, like the actual number was never clear to me. Like I never actually knew. I just like I knew that you were older, like you were an upper year, and like I feared you a little bit. And the rest of your
I've
friends.
had people tell me that, and it like blows my mind.
Really? No, you know what it is? You know what it is that in university, like you had like a clique, like you had like a group of people, and you were always like doing cool shit and like being in each other's shows and getting into shenanigans and like telling stories in the green room, like the student lounge, about like all of your crazy nights out. So like we as like lower years would like walk in and hear you guys talking about like what you had done like a couple weekends ago, and we were like, oh my god, they're so like cool. They like do things and like.
And then we looked at you and went, "Get the fuck out!"
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember being too scared to go into the lounge because someone was like, "Oh yeah, it's totally cool." Like Will has no problem like walking up to you and being like, "So who the fuck are you? What's your name? What are you doing here?" And he'll just like talk to you, and I was like, "That's the opposite of what I want." Like,
and if you don't answer fast enough, he just punches you, just square in the nose. Like,
I miss that. I miss that because I am not like that anymore. So
you worked it out of your system. Luckily,
I just sit on a couch in a corner, being like, "Don't fucking talk to me."
I will literally kill myself if you look at me. Like, please don't look at me. But I have no fucking idea who Alenka is. We like spent an entire day together recording the Haven't Seen a podcast, and I don't know how you met Will. I don't know who you are to Will. I don't know how you entered Will's life or how like Big Cake came to be. Can you like tell us how you came to be around our friend Will?
Preferably for the next 43 minutes.
It is kind of a long story, I guess. I will or won't try to condense it. I don't know. So let's start from the very beginning.
Okay.
So, Will and I had a mutual friend, who, after we had both graduated from like performance arts school, we got together and we literally sat in a Krabby Joe's and we're like, "Hey, you like improv? Yeah. Do you like improv?" And we're like, "Cool, let's start an improv group." Nice. So literally this friend just brought a bunch of people into a room, and that unfortunately is just how we met. That's just how it happened.
Now this improv group is Laughs on Tap, the improv group
that's right.
Oh, okay.
That has other U Waterloo drama members as a part of it.
Oh god, those were so funny. I think I mean like they still go on, I think, just without you, Will.
But
yeah.
Well, then
if you guys want to look up Laughs on Tap, like in KW, it's a really good time. You should go and support them. They're really good people. But I went to one show when Will was still like in the troupe, and I fucking died laughing. Like, and like not just because like you guys were my friends. Like I actually like truly and honestly laughed. So maybe I did see Alenka before I knew that you were like Alenka.
Maybe. Yes, you might have. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because actually a lot of feedback that I get every time I mention Laughs on Tap to other people is, "Oh man, what about that bearded guy though? I love that guy."
Come on, guys.
Everybody loves Will in that.
Is this the Praise Will podcast or what?
Yes. That's the real name of this episode. The CSP episode 45. Let's all praise Will.
Praise Will.
It's what we got here.
Will and his fan club.
Listen, Will introduced us to this website. This podcast literally would not be happening if it wasn't for Will.
Yeah.
So,
True.
I'm not saying we owe him, but we owe him.
Yeah, big time. So then
royalties.
Yeah, like come on.
Royalty.
Hey man, 0% is 10% of 0% is still fucking nothing. We'll give you some money,
but with compound interest over years, it's still nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, Will is like Jerry Seinfeld. He has all of our like merch rights, and he has like royalties on like every single episode. So when we do start making money, like
he's gonna sweep it in.
Yeah.
When you called him Jerry Seinfeld just now, I was like, I don't think that's a compliment anymore.
I mean, he's still a very clean comedian, but he does talk a lot about free speech on comedy.
He's just like I'm very old, and like, wow, doesn't it suck to be old now?
It's just like old man yells at cloud, pretty much. It's like, okay,
shakes
grandpa.
fists.
Yeah, that's about it.
But it's still respected somewhat. We
of
still
course.
Yeah, I mean, like he is a goat at the end of the day. I don't know who we're talking about anymore, Jerry Seinfeld or Will.
Oh, Will.
I
was
am
talking
a goat.
about Will.
The line has blurred so far.
Yeah.
We don't know
It's
what
like,
we're
I don't
talking
know.
about anymore.
I don't know who's who anymore.
We frequently find
What is the
ourselves
deal with this podcast?
Whoa.
That's as far
Not
as I'm
bad.
going for a Jerry Seinfeld impersonation.
Yeah, so you guys have the haven't seen it podcast.
The I haven't seen it podcast.
No,
Yet. I haven't seen it yet podcast.
I haven't seen it yet podcast.
I haven't seen this movie. What's it called? What's it about? Podcast.
That's right.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one.
Longer
Oh, you
and
should
longer.
totally watch it podcast. You haven't lived until you've seen it podcast.
With Alenka and Will.
But like I've
Will's
so like
also here.
So like we were on that show. We did an episode about Jaws and it was honestly like the best time. But I've seen the list of like all of the movies that Alenka hasn't seen and like why haven't you seen so many movies? Like so many movies. Like I don't know how like some of them I understand and like, you know, I try and be nice to people because like truly we all have our own life experiences and like shit just happens, you know, like I've never fucking seen Casablanca, like shit happens. But like you haven't seen a lot of movies and I'm just like how have you never like dated a white guy before? Like has no one like really like sat you down and been like you have to watch like whatever movie is so important to them.
Yeah.
Well,
you go into their college dorm and they throw a dart at a wall and a poster and it's like, we're watching that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But every
exactly.
poster is Pulp Fiction. What the fuck? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, like you're
I
about to say.
have seen Pulp Fiction. I have seen Pulp Fiction, and I have in fact dated white men. So I have seen some movies. Like so for the whole Batman series, like I've seen that. One, because my brother loved them, and two, because like my first boyfriend also loved them. So like of course watch those.
As they do.
Watched a couple as they always do. And I guess like the real reason, and I think we may have talked about this briefly before, but like I know a lot about, well, maybe not a lot, but I know a little bit about most movies because my go-to is Family Guy.
There
Everything
you go.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah. Everything I know. It's just like, so I can come home and I can sit down for 20 minutes. I can watch a Family Guy episode. It'll never disappoint me. It'll make me chuckle a little bit. I can be on my phone. I don't really need to pay attention. I can totally fall asleep. No problem. If I sit down and I'm going to commit to a 2-hour long movie,
yeah,
that's insane. What if like an hour in I'm like, this movie sucks, or like
you know, Family Guy did this way better.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, like I have watched a couple movies that they've like, you know, done a little bit about, and I was like, that was so spot on. Why would I ever need to watch the movie?
Watch the actual movie.
Yeah.
You know what? You have a point. You have a point though, because like, okay, so I didn't see any like OG Star Wars trilogy, like where
that I have.
Like
that
like 6, 7, 8? Whatever, like whatever a New Hope starts, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
That's what 6, 7, 8 is 2 trilogies.
You are gonna you're gonna say you're gonna say that's sacrilege on this day of all days.
Yeah, that's right. It is May the 4th. It's May the 4th.
Let's have a really in-depth conversation about Star Wars. Let's really hash out our opinions on Star Wars.
No, but like I hadn't actually seen a Star Wars movie until I was 18, but I had seen the Family Guy like Star Wars movies, and I was like, okay, like I've seen the Family Guy ones, but those are parodies. Like I want to see the original source material, and then like I watched it, and it's literally it's like beat for beat the Star Wars trilogy.
It really is though.
It's just honestly, like you're like the jokes aren't there, but it is like beat for beat that like those movies. So I guess
I will honestly start a New Hope and go like, wait, that's not Herbert.
I know.
Because I've seen that
time. Every time they get stuck in the trash compactor, I miss the moment where like Meg's little like eye, because like they make Meg like the monster in the trash compactor.
Yeah, like
and like where she like pokes her head up. Like I miss that every single time. I'm like, I could really use like the real deal
one. Yeah.
So
real
Seth
deal
MacFarlane is a media god then, right? Like Seth MacFarlane is the greatest writer of all time, at least in Alenka's opinion.
I mean, he doesn't write all of those episodes.
I mean, whoa, like
I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you.
Chill.
Oh fuck.
No, I mean,
funny enough, one of the writers of Big Mouth used to write for Family Guy. So like,
no way.
Full circle.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, could you guys get us in contact with them? Like, we'll get more guests on the podcast.
I really should reach out to Seth MacFarlane and say, Guy, thank you for saving me hours and hours and hours of potentially watching movies that I'm not gonna like.
Honestly,
actually,
the risk is too high.
Real quick, I have to ask, Alenka, what's your opinion on like new Family Guy, like the newer seasons? Are you still like a diehard fan like to this day?
I get so hyped.
God, wow,
yes,
nice.
100%.
Really?
I literally, every time I open up this laptop, I'm on Netflix and I'm on Family Guy. Like it opens. That's
wild. That's wild.
I wish it was a joke, but it's not.
I knew people like you existed, but I never thought I would meet one. Like ever.
People like you.
I didn't know
Like
it
you
was so
Family
rare.
Guy watchers.
Yeah.
Actually, like I do find, so I think me and my current boyfriend, like at one point we did used to watch Family Guy together, but now he hates it. He does not want to watch it with me.
He's like, I'd rather watch movies. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Can we just watch movies, please?
Can't we just watch one movie?
What if you like watched? What if you just watched movies in like half-hour installments, a la like The Office did?
Oh yeah, just like you watch.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, like
it's like you split up a movie and you watch it like you would a TV series or something.
Yeah. Did you
I
guys
think-
ever
I
have
think
to
that's what
have?
we're saying.
I could try that.
Did you guys
I
ever
could
have to
try
have
that.
indoor recesses in school where like the weather was
the
too crappy to
worst.
go outside, so they would just like huddle you all into like the gym or the library and like stick a movie
Yeah.
on, like let her rip. Yeah,
No, it's
so
like play this 40-year-old copy of Parcheesi, you fucking idiot. Like, it's raining outside.
literally,
You can't go outside.
literally, they would like huddle all of us except for like the kindergartners like into the library at my elementary school, and then I shit you not, every fucking time they would start The Amazing Panda Adventure on VHS, and then like recess
The
is
fuck
only, like,
is that?
You've never heard of it?
What?
You've never heard of The Amazing
What are you
Panda
talking
Adventure?
about?
You've never heard of The Amazing Panda Adventure?
No.
Okay,
I've never
so The
seen
Amazing
3
Panda
reactions
Adventure.
from the all the exact same reaction from 3 people.
That's
So I was like, Panda Adventure. We're like, like what?
What is that?
It's this movie about this kid who gets stranded in the jungles of China with a baby panda and has to like find his way home with the panda. It's Free Willy with pandas. Like that's what it is. Like,
Oh my god, Will,
Wow.
add to the list Free Willy.
There you go. About to say.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Oh,
the fucking Panda movie. I was like, we have to watch this Panda movie. It's Free Willy.
No,
Yeah.
if it's Free Willy, it's still like your references are just not hitting for me. Right
Okay,
now.
sorry.
I just don't know.
It's
I have
just
no
it's a
idea
part of
still.
this like it's a part of this like weird trope that existed in like the late 90s, early 2000s of children's movies where like a child and an animal get abandoned and have to find their way home together and go on a grand adventure to like do it. Like there's like the classic part where like he's crossing a rope bridge and it like breaks and it like falls down and he like holds onto the panda by like a finger and like has to like
of course.
fling it back up over the cliff and shit like that. But I've never seen the ending because I've only seen the first 15 minutes of that movie because indoor recess. And every time the teachers would be like, don't worry, guys, we'll start it right back where we left off next indoor recess. And they never fucking did. They always just started it over again. And it was
Ridiculous.
hell. It was
Wouldn't
literal
it be
hell.
great? Wouldn't it be great if every child-animal relationship ended like that? Instead, we get things like Harambe. So
Yeah.
Oh, dude, wow. Nice Harambe reference. I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think
bring
anyone
that
has said
back.
the word Harambe in like 4 years. It's amazing.
I don't.
I saw a Tumblr post the other day where like someone just like posted like the Harambe story. It was like Harambe was a gorilla in like whatever zoo, and like when a child fell into its enclosure, like zoo officials had to like shoot it and kill the gorilla, and nobody really knows why. And someone responded to it with like, yeah, I know. Like we were all there. How old are you? I think
really.
somebody posted that meme of Aslan from Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe where he was like, "Do not explain to me the Dead Scrolls Witch. I was there when they were written," or something like that.
When they were written. Yeah.
The dark
Classic
magic or
Narnia
whatever.
meme, dude.
Yeah, but I was like,
man.
how old am I that people like need to have Harambe explained to them? I thought we were all conscious and alive for that.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Harambe was a 2016 U.S. presidential candidate, which unfortunately didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
I'd vote for Harambe if he wasn't dead, of course, and a gorilla.
Yeah.
And/or if he was a gorilla.
I mean, I think Americans would vote for a gorilla at this point. So
yeah.
Honestly, that's a whole can of worms right there.
Yeah. Oh,
William.
I actually got story time. So I don't think we ever told Will and Alenka, Cam, like the story of like how we got home after we recorded our episode of Haven't Seen It.
I'm dying
not
to
the
hear
full
this.
story.
I heard tidbits.
Okay, so we took public transit there, obviously, because we were drinking. Like that's how Haven't Seen a Podcast works. Like for those who don't know, we like drink and then explain a movie that Alenka hasn't seen to her until we're too wasted. And so we're drunk and we take the TTC to the GO station to where Cam is parked, and like I'm trying to like talk to Cam, and Cam doesn't really drink. He's more of a weed guy. So like I'm more of a drinker, so like I'm fine. Like my buzz is like worn off, but Cam is just like sitting on the GO train and he's like concentrating, like really he's like sitting in the GO train just like this with his head in his hand, just like obviously trying not to throw up. And so like for those of you who don't know, like, or haven't listened to the podcast, like very far back, a couple years ago, Cam and I went to Cuba and he almost shit himself. And now whenever Cam is in trouble, whenever Cam is in trouble, I look at him and I go like, Cam, is this Cuba? As if to say like, is this a serious situation where I really have to help you out?
Is this the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah.
Fucking Cuban Missile Crisis.
So like I'm looking at Cam on this train and he's like not looking so hot. He's like pale and he looks like he's like just concentrating with all of his might to not throw up. And I look at him and I'm like, Cameron, is this Cuba? And he's like,
having a really hard time.
And he's like, just don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me, please. And I'm like, okay.
See, from my perspective, like for the longest time, whenever I drank, like it could be one drink, it could be 3 drinks, 10, whatever. I always get sick, like always, like without fail, I'll get sick. So leaving Will's place, I was like, that was, I just fun, had a good time. Like I actually feel really good. The bus shows up and we're like, okay, let's get on the bus and go home. And as soon as I sat down on that bus, it was like just like, and it got to the point where Sam's right. I was on the train and I was so goddamn nauseous that she was trying to be nice and talk to me and be supportive. And I had to actually be like, Sam, I need to focus on this gum on the floor or I will die. So I need you to stop talking, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So the train ride is like half an hour from we lost Alenka, shit.
We had a small technical hiccup, but we are back and someone was in the middle of telling a story.
Yes.
It was Sam, I think.
Yeah. I was talking about you. Literally the last time you consumed alcohol. Like you haven't had a drink since this day.
Fun fact, but do you want me to take over from my perspective? Because like this is when it gets gross.
Sure.
Cool.
Have at
it.
So
we get off the train. Have you guys been to Clarkson Go, like in Mississauga, the Clarkson Go station?
No.
No.
Okay, that's fine. And it's gonna be. I don't know why I said that. I'm like the people who listen to our podcast aren't gonna be like, oh yeah, I've been there.
They might.
Anyways, when you get off the train, immediately, I was like, I need a bathroom. Like I'm going to throw up. I'm not gonna make it. I have to puke. Mm-hmm. There are no fucking bathrooms anywhere in this train station, like anywhere. And I got so fed up at one point that I was like, fuck this. And I went over to a fence and just threw up all over the fence.
Oh my God.
It was like the area where they keep like the transmitters or whatever that like run the trains. And he like threw up next to it. It was like not smart. Yeah.
Oh,
like
God.
And I was like, do I like rub his back? Do I just give him space? Like, is this humiliating for him, or should I be there? I don't really know.
Do you hold his hair?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't really know, but like, I'm just gonna stand awkwardly, like 6 feet away. I was social distancing then, and just let him barf until our Uber got there, and then we got in an Uber and we got home, and he like barfed again. Like violently once we
made
got
it
back
to the toilet
house.
this time though. I made it to the toilet. I didn't just barf in my foyer. Walk into the main hall of the home, just threw up on my dog. Like,
oh no.
And we just sat, and Cam was like he finished vomiting, and he was at that point where he's just like out of breath and just like heaving on the bathroom floor. And he was
so
like
sick and tired.
He was like, I don't think I can drink again. And he hasn't. Yeah. He hasn't had a sip of alcohol since that recording. You guys came in.
Okay, virtual high five, Alenka. Virtual high five for that.
Oh, okay.
Boom, baby. Got him.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys have the honor of hosting my final drink. The final drop of alcohol I will ever have was that little boat.
People.
The fucking.
Yeah.
What's the guy? What do we name it? Like the need a bigger boat.
The bigger boat.
The bigger boat. That's it. The need a bigger boat on the I Haven't Seen It podcast where you drink with Alenka and Will. Okay.
I think also the worst part about this story is it wasn't even you were like slugging back something that was tasty.
No.
It really wasn't. I'm sorry, Will.
It
wasn't your best. I'm sure you've made better.
Not really. Actually, our last episode. Sneak peek for the last episode we just recorded, which was on Saturday. It was just tequila.
Oh god!
Fuck!
Social distancing tequila. Fuck
oh
that.
My god!
Yeah, maybe I was sick because I drank nail polish remover for 2 hours talking about drugs.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah,
that was so fun.
The next time we'll do the opposite. If we ever have the fortune to come back on the I Haven't Seen It Yet podcast with Alenka and Will. By the way, I know that's not the name. It's like I've made that bit a couple times now. I'm like, I think people think I'm just a fucking idiot. Like, no, I'll roll like the fattest joint I could roll, and then we'll all smoke it, and then I'll be the one on top.
Well, Alenka hasn't seen Pineapple Express, so.
Oh, perfect,
shit, no.
Perfect. That movie is just okay.
That's one that I haven't seen.
Well, I always for some reason confuse that one with whatever movie it is that like has Robert Downey Jr. in it playing like a black guy.
Oh,
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Weird. That's it. Yeah.
For some reason, a pineapple.
They're not similar at all, but
no.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say maybe like Super Bad, which I can maybe sort. I mean, I haven't seen Pineapple Express, but I can see confusing that one because I don't know. Weed.
It's
God,
based
that
off
scene
the
in Super
names
Bad was
only.
crazy. When Robert Downey Jr. comes out in blackface, like, where did this come from?
Why did this happen? Really?
They played it so straight. I can't believe they just put him in blackface.
Yeah,
he was one of the cops. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
he didn't even play himself.
But yeah, no, like that was honestly like one of the most fun nights of my entire life. Just like getting drunk, talking about sharks. Like,
that's what we're all about here at the Haven't Seen It. I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't quite seen it yet.
Honestly, we have to be careful with the name because I swear to God, there's like 6. I think they're all like not recording anymore, but there's like 6 other podcasts that are some variation of you haven't seen that. I haven't seen this podcast.
Yeah, no, there's like a million chill spots. Like I think we finally kind of like we've uploaded enough content that we have the monopoly on it now. But there are like other channels called Chill Spot, like
the monopoly of like the 80 subscribers that like go around this small group. There's a bar and grill in I think Texas called Chill Spot. That I recently found out because I was whenever I do our Instagram posts, I always tag us in it, so you can click the profile to go to the profile. And one time I tagged them by accident, and I was like, because they actually have at chill spot. We have like at dot or chill dot spot __.
Yeah, we had this problem the last time too.
Bunch of fucking rubes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe some bar and grill in Texas is stealing our name. Oh my god!
You guys have to do an episode there. Like you absolutely have to.
For sure.
I mean, like twist my arm to go to like a barbecue spot in Texas and like talk shit with my friends.
You gotta go to Texas.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, is it in Austin or is it like Houston or something? Like, like I've heard
shade thrown to Houston. Right
like
there.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I
we
mean,
have
no
never
shade
been
to
to Texas, by the way.
Yeah, no shade to Houston because that's where like Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion are from. Like 2 women that I'm so grateful exist on this planet.
2 women.
But like, Just two women, yeah. Yay, women. But like,
yay, girls.
Yay, girls. But
Love
like,
it.
I've heard that like everywhere outside of Austin is just like, I mean, it's Texas. Like, it's exactly what you'd expect from Texas. So
I guess
I'm not
so.
trying to go there anytime soon.
I have also not been to Texas, but my vision of it is
Oh my god.
white cowboy hats, white
Yeah.
cowboy boots,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
maybe some denim.
You ever heard of Doug Dimmadome?
Cling, cling, cling.
Doug Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome.
I was
What
gonna
is
say,
that?
I was gonna say, if you guys have ever like watched that John Mulaney special, Kid Gorgeous, where he talks about, was it JJ Bittenbinder, the
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Steve Smarts?
Yeah, Street Smarts. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how I picture everybody in Texas looks. It's just JJ Bittenbinder, like a 3-piece suit, like cowboy boots with like blood still on them for wherever you just came
Oh.
from, like a wide brimmed cowboy hat. Just like, yeah.
Sam, would you still
Minus the
date me if I
blood.
really leaned into the cowboy look? Like if I really started like wear like big spurs and like a big old like a gallon hat, you know? But like in Canada, like I don't move or anything. Like I just start rocking this look.
I don't like these questions because, like, I know you're trying to set up a bit, but I don't want anybody to think that I would ever, like, my tolerance for like white boy looks is like pretty high. Like, I've had some questionable crushes on
I mean,
some
you like
questionable
Fallout
white boys in my
Boy,
life.
so
Thank
Literally,
you, William.
literally,
Thank you.
like
I swear
this,
to God.
like the poster behind me used to like do it for me. This like white T-shirt with like red corduroy pants look used to do it
Yeah.
for me
there you go.
back in the day, and that's all you need to know about me. But I draw the line at like
At
Doug
cowboy shit?
Dimmadome, at the Doug Dimmadome
Cowboy
aesthetic.
shit.
I think. Yeah.
What about just cowboy boots?
No.
And nothing else.
That's worse. That's worse. That's worse. Like
Now you have to.
if you went full cowboy, I'd be like, props for committing, but this is over. But if you just wore cowboy boots, I'd be like, so you're just gonna humiliate me, like, just by wearing like just cowboy boots, like.
Oh, it's
like,
like I mean,
just
this is
like that?
I used to. I'm actually. I'm not from Kitchener, but the University of Waterloo is in Waterloo, where me, Will, and Sam all went. But I used to work at this EB Games location in Kitchener, and I swear to God, this guy came in full cowboy getup. He had like skin tight jeans, a boot like that went like halfway up his calf, a big gallon hat. He had one of those like you know Woody's shirt. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it has like a collar. It's like weird patterns.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He walked in holding his belt, and I
Oh,
swear to
yes.
fucking God, I wish I was creative enough to make this up, but I swear to God, it's 100% real. He comes in the store, walks up at the counter, and goes, "Good evening."
No.
And
What
he asked me-
did he buy Ranch
What did he
Simulator 2001?
I was about to say, unfortunately, I don't think he bought anything. I think
What
as he
was he
walked out,
doing in a game store?
I was about to say, it's like, you don't own video games. What do you like? You live on a ranch somewhere.
Yeah,
Like,
he
what the fuck is
owns
this?
actual game.
He owns
Yeah.
cattle. Yeah, exactly.
He owns
That
the
is-
one game.
That's going on the fucking Kitchener list. I can't believe you
And I-
never told me about that.
I'm a
I
hundred.
don't-
I have definitely told you that at least once. But
Oh my god.
I swear to God, as he was leaving, I think he came with his daughter, and I swear to God, as they were leaving, he said, "Get along, little lady."
Uh,
That part may or may
No.
not be true. That might just be me fabricating some memory
Yeah.
or bullshit, like
Yeah.
like some
Of
fever
what
dream.
you wanted to happen.
yeah. I
Exactly.
think if you
reminds
just see
me-
anyone with a cowboy hat, everything they say is going to be filtered through a southern drawl.
The drawl. Yeah.
Will, did you ever get dragged to Dallas nightclub when you were in Waterloo?
I never went. I'm so
Okay.
happy I never went.
So like, so one of
Me
one of
neither.
your
Or Stampede.
friends. So
Oh,
one of
definitely
your
didn't go
friends
there.
from R.I.P. Stampede Corral. It's not there anymore.
I don't
But
know what that is.
it was another country and western bar. It was
Yeah,
actually.
should.
You want to hear the most fucking Kitchener thing of all time? Stampede
Yes.
Corral was a country and western bar, like a single block away from my high school. It was like the property ended and you crossed the street, and across the street was Stampede Corral. I used to catch
Yeah.
the bus home outside of Stampede Corral every day. Like
Like
that
the pit
is-
kids throw away their cigarettes and go right into Stampede
And go to
Corral,
Stampede
like,
Corral,
across
yeah.
the street. Yeah,
yeah. That's how Kitchener is laid out. Like it's high school country and western bar. Like you graduate and then you start going to the country and western bar once you turn 19.
But honestly,
Like-
probably not the worst bar for them to like graduate and enter barhood into.
No, it was
you
the
know,
worst.
yeah.
No,
Like
it was the worst
country-
bar.
But
It was the worst bar.
let's think for 1 second. I actually haven't been, but from what I've heard from it, and this is my pure vision of what it was, is that it was line dancing and people in button-ups. This, I swear, is true. So
Yeah.
like you can go to a club and you can go line dancing and wear button-ups, or you can go to a club and you can wear something lace thong and get grinded on by who knows what, you know? So like which
Some
one's
monster.
better? Which
You know what?
Which one's better?
The line dancing
Alenka-
might be a
Alenka,
bit
I
more
forgot-
respectful.
Alenka, I forgot that
People's
you're
personal
based in
space.
Kitchener. You're based in Kitchener, right, Alenka? Or
I'm
do you live?
familiar-ish with it.
Okay.
I live
So, like,
outside
I'm not-
Kitchener.
I'm not leaving you out when I
love
talk
the-
about stuff.
I love the head movement that she did. It was like,
Yeah.
obviously this is audio, you're not going to see it, but she was like,
Yeah.
I might know a thing or two about Kitchener, you know?
I know a little bit. No, but it
I
was
know
genuine.
slouch.
Like I lived outside of Kitchener, about like 15 minutes away, Kitchener Waterloo. And so when people say things, I'm like, I know what you're talking about, but I may or may not have experienced it.
Okay.
That's
Fair.
understandable.
Yeah.
So the one and only time that I ever went to one of these country and western bars, like I went to Dallas, and like Will, you were more friends with this guy than I was. His name was Eric, not
Yeah.
He was like yeah.
Eric Johnson.
Yes. So
Yeah.
he
Let's just name him. No, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
just say his name.
I guess I'll just bleep this out.
Yeah. So this man,
shame.
bless his heart, was a little bit of a ladies' man, or at least he like really wanted to be. So a couple of my friends who are
no.
girls like were going out with him for his birthday along with like a bunch of his other friends, and he like really wanted to go to Dallas, and my friend was like you should come, and I was like, fuck it, whatever, like I don't
Yeah.
have anything else to do. So
I hate
went,
that idea, but I'm gonna come.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
I went and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, Sam, like you gotta give this a chance. Like there's not gonna be nearly as much flannel as you think there's gonna be.
There is.
Just like give it a chance. And you know, like I was told that they stop playing country music at like 1 a.m. and then they like switch to pop music, or they at least like switch it up a little bit so that you're not listening to like Garth Brooks all night long. But I got there and there was lots of Garth Brooks and lots of flannel and exactly as many cowboy hats as you would think that there would be. And I was 100%
Yeah.
right in stereotyping the place. It was just like, it was just drunk white girls in like whatever, like plaid flannel they could get
Yeah.
from Blue Notes, and just like
Yeah.
like getting drunk and like being a mess. And I was one of 2 black people in the club that night, and I
In
shit
the
you
entire
not,
club, not just
in
the
the
group,
entire
the
club, in the
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
whole in the whole place, I was one of
Yeah.
2 black people. It was this black guy, and he was hanging out with a bunch of white girls who clearly also dragged him there against his will power. And I remember I was like, we were heading out and I was reaching for my friend's hand, and my friend is like a very dainty, skinny, like fit white girl. So I reach for her hand and I feel this like callous, like rough, thick,
Yeah.
meaty hand.
This claw.
And I look
Like a
at my
tentacle.
hand. I look at my hand and I look up and it's the other black guy. And I
Yeah.
had like grabbed his hand, and I didn't have, this wasn't a reference at the time, but like he looked at me with like the Get Out eyes. Like
Yeah.
he was like fully in the sunken place, like dead,
Yeah.
like dead eyes. Like looked
Straight
at
up
me.
looked at you and straight up was like, help me, please.
Yeah, and
Please help.
we looked at each other and we like shared a moment, and I was like, and I nodded, and like he looked at me and he like nodded, and I like went about my way, and
Yeah.
like just kind of like
And-
left.
And he was
You
sucked into the crowd.
abandoned
Like,
him.
ah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just as like all the white girls were around him, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is so much fun! Like we're having the best
the hair
time."
flip.
And
Yeah,
I
meanwhile,
just,
you're
like-
being dragged into the crowd
Yeah,
slowly, like melting in magma.
Stomped
Yeah,
on
yeah.
by cowboy boot after cowboy boot.
Exactly.
I honestly, I
He
thought
died that
you were
night.
gonna say you reached out and felt a calloused hand, and it was EB Games Cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
And
was
it
like,
me.
"Hi
That's
there,
how we
pretty lady."
met.
Yeah.
It was
How
you.
we met.
It was me in a cowboy hat.
He just like tipped his hat and was like, "Ma'am."
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I'll tell you be on your way now, miss.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was just to save everybody in KW, in the KW area, like a hard time. Like if you don't like country music and you don't like flannel and you don't like cowboy boots and you don't like white girls, you have every right to judge Dallas and not go there, because that's what it is. That's all that it is. It's just people.
We are not getting sponsored by Dallas anytime soon. That's for fucking sure.
No, and you know what?
But
I don't want to.
Texas. That sponsorship is coming in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Hit
think
us up.
the closest to a country western bar I went to is Chainsaw, and R.I.P. Chainsaw.
Oh, rest in peace, Chainsaw.
I will say that. R.I.P. to Chainsaw.
The best in between, like you could call it a night out, but like it just kind of looked like your friend's parents' basement, and it was just it was the best.
It's the best.
There was a bar and like food, but it was like on the other end. It's like, wow, it's really cozy over here.
It was.
Someone screaming on the stage. Yeah, no, it was a great bar.
My face is on the wall probably 3 or 4 separate times in that place.
Oh, so. that was also why I was like too scared to talk to you, because you and all of your friends were in all of the adverts for Chainsaw. You guys like did spots for them, and I was like, wow, like these guys are like working actors while they're in school.
I was about to say the same thing.
It's like they're still in school famous. And they're like getting work. Like this is crazy.
To be honest, it was more I shot the ads and made some money and did not pay actors.
And I know you didn't.
Things change.
And I know you didn't, because I was in one of your ads. I was in your like Star Wars ad that you like did for Chainsaw a while ago, and it's right, you did not pay me. You did not pay me. You barely talked to me, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
That was a pretty big crew.
Yeah. You filmed the ad, and then you walked up to Sam like, hey, so we don't have any money, but do you want to come on my podcast?
5 years from now.
5 years from now.
Holy smokes, was that already so long ago?
What's that?
That ad like was already 5 years ago.
No, I think it was.
No, it wasn't 5 years ago.
3 or 4 years
yeah.
ago.
Let's say 3. Let's
stop
at 3.
Let's not make the time go longer than it should.
Yeah, let's put a hard stop at 3.
It's already been, time already fucks me up harder, and like it's only been like my mom today, obviously for those listening, and because everyone's going through this, you know, COVID and social distancing and all that. My mom today was like, yeah, today marks 8 weeks. I was like, what? 8 weeks?
Yeah, no, I was filming a video because I was applying for Tent, which is a Toronto Fringe like mentorship thing that they do. And I was like, yeah, like just I saw like this show like back in March, and I was recording it at like the end of April, and I was like, oh shit, less than a month ago I was like going to the theater and like seeing shows and like being super close to people and like seeing people in real life and
touching
like,
people's faces and shit as you walked around, you know.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
yeah. I was congregating in groups of like 15 or more less than a month ago at that point.
Constantly.
And I just sort of like, I just had to like take a second and just like breathe, because that fucked me up. That fucked me up real bad.
Well, you know what? I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but like I know very much how social distance has been going for Sam, but how has social distancing been going for you guys?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
it goes.
Okay, so
I'll let Alenka do her version of it.
Yeah. So mine is obviously I'm staying in the house a fair bit, but I live in a house with 5 other people.
Oh,
so I'm actually constantly around people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a health issue for any of us, because like it's just like the socializing's always still there. In fact, like there's actually times where like, boy, I sure would like to be alone.
Yeah.
You know, like there's actually moments when like, you know, because it's just like people are always in the house, and then there's a dog. So like this actually happened at the perfect timing, because he was a puppy. And so now we can train him kind of to not rip people's arms off. So it's actually been kind of decent.
Would you buy a bear?
Yes, please do that. Please do that.
Well, he's a king shepherd, so like the thing is like he's already so he's 6 months and he's already 90 pounds.
Jesus.
So he's a big boy.
He's a real big boy.
Yeah. So
sounds
basically,
like a good boy.
He's okay. He's just like any like if he does any nipping at all, basically like just because how big he will be, we gotta like get that under control.
Do you live with your family, or do you live with a bunch of randos and somebody decided to bring home a giant one day?
Bunch of randos.
Yeah, pretty much that second option. Yeah. The dog
just 'cause,
is
like,
my
Like, it's
the
one
dog's
thing
my
if, like,
boy. Oh no.
Sorry. No. You're the guest. Please tell the story.
Oh, you know what? In my head just now, I was like, oh, that's full. Out of the out. No, that's staying in. That's 100% going to be in the final cut. Please continue, Alenka.
I'm so scared.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'll try.
Holy shit.
I honestly
So I'm
can't
not
remember
talking,
what I
so
was
you'll
gonna
keep
say,
talking.
But you did.
Oh my god.
You guys are picking on me.
It is like we have never recorded a podcast before.
I know it's all this like new. You gotta get used to like timing and being like, okay, let them. It's almost like improv now, where you just like let them finish the thought and then take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so hard when we're not in the same room. This video chat was a good idea, though. Again, something that the audience is not going to notice, but I do because it helps just to look at faces. But Alenka, you were saying.
I genuinely can't remember.
The dog. Who brought the dog?
Oh.
Which one of the randos?
Well, that's my boyfriend's dog, so.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel like
So not a rando.
I wish we'd never really jumped back on this topic now because it's so disappointing. Anyway.
No, that wasn't disappointing. That was a good story.
No. It's good to know.
I enjoyed
It's
that
good to know.
story.
Thanks to you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
But Will, how have you been?
Well, I live here with my partner Sam. Not your partner Sam, my partner Sam.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Shout out to Sam. I love Sam.
So I'm not alone, but I'm also not with 5 other people, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm part of the elite privileged white people
Nice.
that my job is the exact same.
Mm.
So no change in income, and I can work from home quite easily.
Bastard.
And and we have outdoor space with a deck, and you can sit out there. I barbecue.
So that sounds pretty nice, actually.
The whites are truly at it again. Like, they really are.
At it again. This was all just a scheme by the whites to just have a big vacation.
Ruin my goddamn life. Yeah.
A nice 8-week vacation where half the world doesn't get paid.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So I'm thankfully okay in terms of not struggling, which is great, and I understand that privilege. But as well, I'm watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Never watched it, and
sorry to hear
me
that.
and Sam got into it. Well, Sam had watched up till season 6. I'd never seen it, and I got into the 3rd episode and been watching it ever since this started. We're at season 8 now, so.
Oh my god!
God.
How many seasons of Grey's Anatomy? There's got to be like 20.
There's like
seasons
18, I think. 18,
See,
and they're all
this is
20
exactly
2-episode
why.
shows at 40 minutes.
No. That's exactly the reason why. Don't start movies.
No.
Listen, Family Guy probably did a way better job of covering the Grey's Anatomy story. Okay,
I need Family Guy to just do Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
then
Herbert
I will watch
would be
it.
McDreamy probably.
Oh my god.
I have no really idea what Grey's Anatomy is other than doctors like chopping around.
It's hot doctors who fuck and then die. That's just like the whole show.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's got a heart that you don't know about until you watch it, like I do.
Okay.
I'm so
Sam,
not
organ
buying
donation.
Yeah, Sam was like, "This is some white shit. I don't know about this shit."
Yeah. Well, it's not, because it's Shonda Rhimes, who's like, obviously like a superhero, but I can't with Shonda Rhimes shows. I really can't. They get so ridiculous and just keep getting renewed. Like How to Get Away with Murder just ended, but there were 8 seasons of that. I think
really?
Yeah. Scandal went on for a really long time.
God.
I don't know why Grey's Anatomy is still going on. It's out
people watch
two
that
shows.
Shit. That's why.
2 other Shonda Rhimes shows have started and finished in the time it took Grey's Anatomy to keep going. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas.
To counter the Grey's Anatomy, I'm also watching all of the Infinity War series with Sam.
Nice.
Oh my
she's
God.
never seen any of them.
Oh my God,
That's an
Will.
experience. That's an experience.
Can you please tell Cam what Sam's favorite Infinity movie is so far? Please tell me.
That one?
I want
So
specifically I want you to tell him. I've been holding out because I want you to tell him.
For those of you who don't know, I'm live tweeting via the Haven't Seen It podcast Twitter. Mine and Sam's watches of each movie and kind of what she says, also my observations and jokes. But at the end of this particular movie, she said, I think that's my favorite movie so far that we've watched. And it's Iron Man 3.
That's like his least favorite movie in the whole saga, and I fucking died.
Thank you for joining us in the Chill Spot podcast. That's all the time we have for today. This fucking podcast is over. She really likes Iron Man 3?
Yeah, to be honest, I actually really like it too. I like the Robert Downey Jr. PTSD storyline.
It's true.
I do enjoy that part of it. I think it's really kind of neat. I will say though that I understand that it's not the best reviewed one of the series. But sometimes you don't listen to reviews.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's been ages since I've seen it since it came out. I remember not liking it when it first came out, but who knows? Maybe now that we have the full Infinity package, it works a little bit more as a piece of a puzzle.
I think she also Iron Man so far, like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man are her favorite movies, both because they're the most centered in reality, I would say. And she's in the other room, but I just can't wait until Endgame.
Oh, I know. Yeah, dude. That is such I'm not gonna lie. That is such an amazing experience to be able to have. That you can watch these 22 movies, they've been completed, and you get to you don't have to be like. I started Iron Man 1 came out in 2008.
Alenka's shaking her head like, please. Can we switch topics, please?
I'm sorry.
God.
22 movies. Will was like, "Hey, you want to do the friggin' whatever fucking series?" And
Infinity Saga.
Sure. And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "What is it?" In my brain, I was like, "It's 3 movies. No big deal." He's like, "Yeah." So if you really want to get a feel for it, it's gonna be 22 movies. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?"
Yeah.
We're going on record here. So my tweet originally was that Alenka had seen all these movies because way back in the beginning when talking about the movies she hasn't seen, I said The Avengers, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I've seen that one." And I just
I've seen the first one.
She's seen all of them.
I've seen the first one. I have only seen the first one.
I was actually going to ask that because I could have swore I saw a tweet that was like, Alenka's seen these movies, but I was like, so I was actually really impressed. I was like, oh, that's cool. So you're not really into movies, but you love the MCU, but apparently not.
I just no. I had no idea it was 22 movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
22 movies. Endgame is 3.5 hours long. It's like a fucking Lord of the Rings movie.
It's long.
Yeah. It's 22 movies, and I genuinely don't know where to tell you where to start if you want to skip. I don't know.
No, you
how
can't
to tell
skip.
You.
I think there's some lists online
then I'm not
of
doing
essential Infinity War movies, meaning the movies that have the most to do with Endgame and Infinity War, basically.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure they exist, but I remember my coworker and friend Allison, she was gonna go see Endgame with her girlfriend fiance now, and she was like, "Okay, I haven't seen a single Avengers movie, but I'm gonna go see Endgame. Can someone just explain to me the entire Infinity Saga, just so I know what's going on?" And I was like, okay, listen. And I did. I basically was just there's these stones that make you the most powerful person on the entire planet, and Thanos wants them, and the Avengers have to stop him. That's the full. That is literally the end game.
That's the shortest episode of Haven't Seen It podcast.
Exactly. That is so watered down. It's just a bottle of water. That is just You got the most basic of basic through lines of like big purple mean guy wants to kill the Earth, and these guys protect the Earth, and they're not going to let him do that.
Yeah, basically.
Grimace from McDonald's is trying to collect the Infinity Stones and kill half the univer's.
Exactly, but like
he's played by Josh Brolin. It's really weird. I don't know.
Seth MacFarlane, if you're listening, that's your episode.
Did I just write the Infinity War parody? Like, you just take Thanos out, replace him with Grimace, and then you don't change anything else.
A single
you just
thing.
Leave it alone completely.
You just leave it alone. You just let him have at it. Oh man, I would love to watch Grimace just like stab Thor in the chest then.
Whoa.
It's kind of a fucked up thing to say, but whatever.
yeah, I just love to see that. His little like dildo hand just like pushing the blade into Thor's chest.
Is it though? Like
you should have aimed for the head.
Like an oven mitt.
An oven mitt. An oven mitt is more. Does he have a thumb? Did they give him a thumb?
Yeah. He's got a little opposable thumb.
Okay,
now I'm just thinking about like how weird are Cam's balls if that's what you're picturing as a dildo
hand. My penis is just one smooth, like no texture hole. It's just like a rubber, like
purple.
Yeah. It is totally
I think you got a problem.
Yeah. I got a cock ring on there that I had never been able to get off, so it's just like,
I catch so much flack from the black community for liking pink dick, but I just like don't understand why they keep saying pink dick the whole time. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
It's like, listen, we have no problem with you fucking white guys, but your boyfriend needs to go to the hospital. Have you seen his penis? That should be the title of this episode. Have you seen his penis? Question mark. With Will and Alenka.
Have you seen his penis?
Oh god.
It's got a ring to it. Have you seen this penis?
Oh my god. That should be the name of your guys' new podcast. I haven't seen this penis.
It's like Will like sitting at a table. It's Will sitting at a table quietly, and he just goes, "Okay, Benedict Cumberbatch," and she's like, "Nope," and then it's just like the theme song, and it's just like
I've never seen his penis.
Yeah,
I mean, he should whip it out,
Michael
at the end of
Fassbender,
1917, when he turned around, his penis should have been out,
I'm not familiar with the movie, you guys.
I'm so sorry.
How many times I need to explain?
Okay, so
that's Alenka's Achilles heel is movie references.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
You just have to be a bit more creative. That's all.
Oh,
that's all, you guys.
I'm feeling called out. 55 minutes into this podcast, I'm feeling called out.
Wait, so what's your favorite episode of Family Guy, Alenka?
Ooh,
do you have one?
God. I don't think so. The thing is, I also have such a bad memory that, and I'm on the spot, you guys.
Yeah. I'm putting it there.
Possibly pick one. Honestly, the Star Wars episodes are probably my favorite.
That's fair. Those are really genuinely good
ones. Yeah, those are.
They still hold up too. Like they're actually still pretty funny.
Yeah, I always love a good Suey.
Brian.
The Stewie and Brian. Their adventures are usually always pretty good. They're pretty nice.
I love the I love the episode where Stewie has that alternate universe remote control thingy, and they through the alternate universes.
Road to the multiverse.
That's a good one.
Wow. Good one. I don't know how to tell you this, Cam, but it's not cool that you know the title of it. It's not a dunk to know the title of the Family Guy episode. Yeah.
You're not. This isn't nearly as cool as you think it is. Trust me.
No, it's really not. It's really not. If these were Breaking Bad episodes, then maybe. But it's not.
Listen, Breaking Bad, Family Guy. You can't see it, folks at home, but I rated Family Guy slightly above Breaking Bad.
Yeah, which I actually have started watching.
Ooh, nice.
So,
yeah, I gotta just dedicate myself to
side podcast.
Yeah, really. I have seen that show with Cam, Sam, Will, and Alenka.
Oh my god, the list is much shorter.
Yeah, it's just do you like it? Yeah. End credits. Just
we'll get Zach to do the theme song.
Every time I go to the movies,
it's longer than the episode.
Every time I go to see a movie, I how friends talk afterwards. They're like, "Oh my god, that was such a good movie, man! I love when this part happened. I love when this part happened." I'm sitting there and I'm like, I forget 90% of what happened in that movie.
I
how
immediately
does that,
forgot everything.
Like, how did they remember what they said?
That happens to me a lot, actually.
You get the general plot and obviously what happens at the end, but like line for line, come on.
I'm really bad with I'm really bad with names as a whole, but I'm really bad with like character names. Like I'll remember one character's name and I'll be like, so like remember when Billy was talking to like Zac Efron about The Thing, and then like Vanessa Hudgens came in and she was like Billy, and then people are like, wait, what are you talking about, like the actor, or are you talking about the character? And I'm like, no, the character. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, so Zac Efron. And they're like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, did we not just watch this movie? Like I
They need to
can't
keep up better. Obviously, they just watched the movie with you. How could they not possibly understand that if you just saw a movie with Zac Efron in it, you're probably talking about his character?
Like literally, I know. Thank you for validating me.
He was in that movie? What are you talking about?
I was.
Are we at the movies? Where am I? Like,
yeah. How could you possibly?
What are we talking about?
You gotta stop hanging out with those people. You gotta stop.
I gotta see movies with better people. Yeah.
You two should go see movies together, and then you go.
Because you'll say, you could say anything, close. And I would be like, I think I remember that happening.
Did you say you guys are close?
Yeah.
I mean, like, geographically.
I was going to say, Sam started out this podcast with, I don't know who the fuck Alenka is. I mean,
like, let's go see a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about female friendships that actually, like, creeps me out, is how quickly women and like non-men will like claim that they're like best friends and like want to hang out all the time. It's just like, listen, we have to hang out with our mutual friends like 3 times before I even consider hanging out with you like solo. Like we have to like, and we have to have like a side conversation, just the two of us, for like an entire evening before I'll like hang out with like just you. But then before you know it, I'm like on their Instagram and they're like, wouldn't know what I would do without these ladies. And I'm like, I don't
Yikes.
I don't know you.
You might know. You might know what you might do without them.
I don't know you at all. Like, I'm bad at female friendship. I really
I'm bad at friendship in general. You said like the whole like talking thing that you were talking about, like having conversations. Don't do that.
So this is like a nightmare for you then, like this scenario where this will be on the internet later. Like.
No, I like this because I'm talking to people somewhat face to face. Like texting somebody is a nightmare to me. I hate texting.
I totally
people.
get that.
Yeah,
and I text Sam really well, and that's just about it.
Yeah, my least favorite thing to get is a text message from someone I haven't spoke to in months, and it's like, "Hi, hun, how are you?" I'm fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. I don't even respond.
Wait. So are you saying that anytime I send you like a massive text about questions about the podcast,
no,
you just
that's
fucking
so
hate
different.
that?
That's so different.
Delete, just straight delete.
That's also like, the only other time I tolerate like texting like that is like when you're hashing something out or like you're making plans.
Totally.
Which is like what we do typically. Yeah. Like I don't like shooting the shit, like my okay, it's fucking sunny out. Like
how about that weather?
Maybe they do. Like sometimes people do want to talk to you about something important too, but first they feel like they have to like shoot the shit with you for like an hour, and it's like, can you just tell me? Because I'm not gonna bother the back and forth. So, like, if you have something to say, you got to get it out fast because I'm going to stop this conversation as soon as it starts.
Well, see, it's a good thing that we're on the ultimate shoot the shit podcast. So
yeah, really.
Yeah, that's literally all we do.
Welcome to the most structureless podcast. Well, it was just a quick sidebar. We had our buddy. He's episode 11 of our podcast. We had my friend Brad on, and he asked me if I had any rundown for this podcast, and my response was rundown. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, it's a conversation podcast, dude. We just talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, no, I felt like kind of an asshole because like when we were arranging all of this, Will was like, okay, so we're gonna record on this day, like what should I prepare? And I was like, oh man, I don't know how to tell you. I don't know how to tell you that like we don't really prepare at all, like not even a little bit.
We're about as off the cuff as we get.
I feel really bad because like we prepared for like your podcast, like Cam and I watched Jaws and like made sure that it was like fresh in our minds still so that we could talk about it, and like I even like true to like my myself. I can't relax for any reason at all whatsoever. I like listened to a podcast about Jaws so that I could like talk even more about the movie. Like
that's above and beyond. I didn't even do that shit.
I did research for a podcast that I was getting drunk on, like like an idiot, and then like the time comes and we're like, we should have you on our podcast one day, Will, and was like, yeah, sure. So like, what do I need to get ready? And I like thought about all the work that I did and all the work that he doesn't have to do to be on my podcast, and I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Like,
I mean, all we ask is you
like,
watch the movie
shit.
and you drink the drink.
Yeah.
I mean, to be also, you guys, such a relief finding out that I don't have to do a thing to be on this podcast. I just have to make sure my interconnection doesn't conk out on me again.
And it didn't even do that, and we're still having a good time. So like,
I'm happy. Like minimal
it all
effort,
worked.
Alenka. Will literally takes care of everything for our podcast, and God love him, because he'll be like, so I did this and this and this and this, and I'm like, all right, I guess I could update the movie list. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I feel that way whenever I bring up new sound stuff when it comes to Sam. Like, we're going to try this out when we record, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, that's me too. Yeah,
we'll try that out. You know, maybe it'll be a little bit better.
I was like,
actually,
yes, I will show up for that. Thank you. Yeah.
Funnily enough, when we were recording with Will and Alenka, we were still using USB Yeti microphones. But as you might notice, we have these fancy ones now. You know, look at this.
Yeah, we
wow.
Fancy.
Shout out to my mommy who bought me this for Christmas.
My mom.
You upgraded right before the world decided to shit on professional audio quality, and now it's going to be tainted by internetness.
You know what?
Perfect.
Like people obviously people love to talk shit about people who start podcasts because it's such a saturated occupation, hobby, whatever you want to market. And
a group of white men is called a podcast. Don't you know this?
Yeah, like
or a murder.
All those memes and all that stuff.
A murder of white men.
There's lots of jokes about like podcasts that only your mom listens to, but like, could you imagine if your mom like wasn't a fan of our podcast? Like, we like record this
upsetting.
We record this podcast that she freaking hates in her basement all the time. She's like, ugh, I hate it when they
down there talking about dicks again. Fuck.
God, I gave birth to such a loser. God damn it.
She's using all the blankets on his dumbass wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Soundproof the shit out of the basement.
Yeah.
So you guys go above and extra. I have nothing soundproofing in this basement.
But you know what? Your audio still sounds better than mine.
It still turns out, your apartment is just small enough. Like, that's all it is. Like, it's just small enough to justify. Yeah,
like, shout out to Alenka, though, with the foam there.
Yeah,
it looks like we even got like a... It looks like you got an actual studio going on.
I am actually in an actual like music studio, I guess. Yeah. Boyfriend's in a band, so
I was literally gonna say your boyfriend's in a band, isn't he? And sure enough.
What's the band called? Do you want to plug them?
Yeah, if you guys want to, actually, they're called Pretty to Think, and they're releasing an album like probably as soon as the quarantine's over. Realistically, they've been finalizing all their edits. So yeah, they're fucking fantastic. They're like the most talented musicians like I know. Like actually, like they do crazy things. Just like
that's dope.
That's dope. I mean, hey, lesson number 1 for today is to go listen to Alenka's boyfriend's band, which the name is again. What was the name again?
I want you to mess it up a little bit, but they're called Pretty. They're called Pretty to Think.
Pretty to Think.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say Pretty to Think. I was like, too pretty to think.
No, that was right.
That is what I can't believe you got it right in trying to get it wrong. Oh my god!
I thought it was too pretty.
This episode has genuinely come full circle because you've gone from like messing up perfectly clear titles to like not hearing the words fully and getting it right anyways.
Yeah. Keep in mind that I also can't see out of my left eye, so I can actually only see Will and Alenka in this group chat right now. So.
I just keep forgetting that you have so many impairments. And
one half of Chill Spot is this deaf, dumb, blind guy. Just like I don't even know how I play games. I just like slam the sticks back and forth until something happens.
It just works.
But at the end of all of our podcasts, we give lessons. Lesson number 1 was to go check out this awesome band.
Nice.
Will or Alenka, do you have any lessons for people today? Anything you want to any wisdom you care to
wisdom
impart?
you want to espouse?
Well, I would say don't start Grey's Anatomy unless you're prepared to get sucked in
It's good advice.
by doctors and surgeries and sex.
Okay.
My 3 favorite things.
Yes.
Doctor, surgery, and sex.
And then
that's the name of my band.
And this is coming out. This is coming out next Tuesday.
Yes, coming tomorrow.
Yes,
actually,
yeah.
technically tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode's coming out tomorrow.
Hell
Yep.
yeah, dude.
That's sick
All
of
right.
We're down to the fucking wire, dude. I got nothing in the backlog anymore.
Oh wow. Okay.
the fucking wire.
Well, as you
Yeah,
know, we
yeah.
recorded most of our episodes months in advance. Now we're going kind of week by week. But anyway, yeah, when you're listening to this tomorrow, and you are like, you know what, I'm getting tired of 2 of these voices, and we want to hear more of another 2 of the voices. You can then hop on over after you finish the episode.
Steal
that
our fan
they
base,
get to
yep.
listen. They can hop on over to Haven't Seen It podcast for part 2 of our Titanic series.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
sick, Will. Will, that was the
Take
sickest
it.
thing.
No,
you've
this is
ever
not a
done.
steal. This is it's a share. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like a timeshare.
It's
You
like
can
you're
listen to
a
more than
minnow
one
in the
podcast.
stream, and you're floating around. You're swimming downstream. You pass a lily pad. You admire the lily pad, and then you move on to the next lily pad. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't steal our followers. We don't have that many.
Yeah.
We need
Don't
as many
steal-
as we can.
Don't steal my mommy from me, Will. God.
Yeah, exactly. Years from now, I'm
Stop
gonna ask my mom what her
saying
favorite
mommy.
podcast is, and it's not gonna be mine.
Yeah.
Stop
I'm
saying
your new
mommy.
pod daddy.
Well, that was the
don't
worst
like
sentence
it.
ever.
Oh man,
Um,
I'm gonna have a stepdad and a step sibling by the end of this. I swear to God.
Oh, Jesus
At the
Christ.
same
So-
time.
Alenka, do you have any wisdom for our 3rd lesson of the day?
Yeah. My wisdom is don't fuck with the movies. Watch the Family Guy episode.
There you go. There you go.
Save
So
yourself some
easy.
time.
You
Don't
save
go to the
some,
movies.
honestly,
Just watch
hours.
Family Guy.
Theaters are
Yeah.
dead anyway. They're gonna release movies on streaming services. So I
Don't
mean, yeah,
say that. Don't.
Well,
we'll
the
just all
theaters
cry about it.
are so desperate they're open on Christmas Day. Like, come on, you gotta just hate yourself.
This is
to
true.
Keep your
That's a good
theater
point.
open
That is-
Christmas Day.
yeah.
Like, come on.
No,
I've never thought
you're
about
not
it
lying.
like that before.
You're not lying. And New Year's too. They're open on New Year's Eve.
They're
Which
open
is
all
messed
night.
up.
But
Yeah,
yes, you can
fair.
find us, the Chill Spot Podcast, on any streaming services where you find podcasts, as well as YouTube. And if you go on YouTube, you can also see that we have a channel, and you can watch all of our videos where we do video game stuff and a variety show, which has currently been replaced by an online variety show. And you can go listen to Will and Alenka at the Haven't Seen It Yet podcast on just about every streaming service.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Were you actually trying to mess that up that time?
No.
Oh no.
Hang on. I'm confused now. I actually thought okay. I've read it so
The
many times.
Haven't Seen It podcast. It is
Okay,
called
okay.
the Haven't Seen It podcast.
I
Which you were
genuinely,
on. I will bring
genuinely
this up again.
apologize. I genuinely apologize for that. For some reason, I thought there was yet. Is there actually? Hang on.
No, there's not, babe. Nope.
Because
I'm
guess
sorry.
what?
Okay,
You guys,
I
guess
demand an iPhone notepad Twitter apology for this.
An
Yeah,
iOS
yeah.
press release.
Yeah, exactly.
Cam. You want to know why it's not called the I Haven't Seen It Yet podcast?
Why's that?
Because despite at the end of every episode when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna watch that, I do not watch the movies.
No, you're never gonna watch it.
I do not
Okay.
watch them.
That was on me then. I actually genuinely apologize. I didn't mean to. Previously it was all a bit. But you can go listen to their podcast. Are you guys on all streaming services pretty much?
Yep. On YouTube
Nice.
as well. I post the episodes on YouTube.
Perfect.
But I have to say, I love the. Is it Dream Daddy? Is that the,
Yes.
the game you play?
Yeah.
Those are
Oh,
great.
I'm glad you like it.
funny.
We're very
Yeah.
close to being out of episodes, and then having nothing to upload. So this is great.
Yeah, for
Do you guys have anything you want to plug specifically? You can also go see Will and Alenka at Big Cake. All the socials for all this stuff is going to be in the description. Maybe on screen. We'll see how much effort I put into that, but it'll definitely be in the description for sure.
We have a website too. We got haven'tseenitpodcast.com
There we go.
as well as bigcake.ca.
Amazing.
Nice. Repping
Wow,
the CA.
you guys are
I
juggling.
like that.
You guys are
We have to.
you guys are juggling 2 domains right now. Like that's.
Oh, I've got like 6
Again,
domains personally.
You say we,
That's
but
sick.
Will does all the work.
I know, but like Cam and I just haven't done a website yet because we don't want to pay for a domain. Like that's
Yeah, really.
literally
they're
all
so
it is.
cheap. They're so
That's
cheap.
true. So
Also
would you
cheap.
say then?
It's like
Would you say
$10
then
a
that
year.
if there's a will, there's a way?
Oh.
Yes, I would.
Shut it up. Shut it down. Shut it
Is
down.
that
We're
that
done
the rare 4th lesson?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
every so
yeah.
often we have a 4th lesson, and the 4th lesson is if there's a will in us, then there is a will way. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
No, but
Thank
seriously,
you.
guys, go check out Haven't Seen It podcast and do watch Big Cake. Their 2nd season is like coming out right now. There may even be a cameo or a little guest spot that you might recognize in the 2nd season if you want to check that shit out.
I just gotta edit it.
It's genuinely really good sketch comedy, and I actually really love it so much. So like,
Totally.
do watch it. Give us some views.
Yeah.
Aw.
Actually,
Yeah.
I would like to say that
Aw.
the clip that was posted on Instagram with the anchor shirts, and then
Yeah.
Zach shows up with the anchor. I was actually fucking crying.
I
That's really fucking funny.
actually truly laughed. I really did. And the
But
nervous
yes.
peer sketch, like, oh my god, the blog to sketch, I died. It's so real.
They are far funnier than we are, so please go follow them.
Yeah.
And that is enough for this podcast today. Thank you, Will and Alenka, for coming on. You guys are the coolest.
Yeah, we love y'all.
You are cool.